A story is about a giant supercomputer that kills everyone except for 5 people who it keeps inside the center of the Earth and tortures for over a century. The end is really horrifying.
Right. Love that. Oh, let me talk about what I've been reading. So I'm doing a readathon right now, and I'm like crunching to finish it. I still need to log all my books, but I think I'm good. I think I'm done with the readathon at this point. I had to switch out some things for my prompts. I couldn't get Mary and Awakening of Terror in time to do the readathon. So I'm just going to read it next month, though, because I'm still interested in it. And I'm like kind of like trying to pick like cozy, like horror, all spooky season books for my next like TBR, because I'm doing another TBR, even though I'm not like participating in another readathon. So I'm just going to shove that back a little bit and replace that book on my like readathon TBR with Hellbent, because I was able to get that from the library. And I wasn't planning on reading it because I didn't think I would get it in time. But weirdly enough, I got it way before getting Mary and Awakening of Terror, because for some reason, I guess people read that book faster. I don't know. So I finished The Letting Go. Kind of. Sort of. I don't know if this counts. So I got like a little bit more than halfway through the book. And I was so annoyed, so bored, that I skipped to the end and I started reading the book backwards, trying to find the climax. And then I found it, and then I was confused. And so I had to go back and like read the other direction. I think in entirety, I did read the whole book. I think I read the whole book. But basically, she's at a boarding school that is like, it's sort of like a, you learn at your own pace, you get to do your own projects, like kind of like a fancy rich kid boarding school kind of thing that she somehow got sent to. But she's there because she's kind of like almost in, well, she's not like in witness protection or anything like that. She should be, but she fucking isn't. So she had to like change her name and like start over and stuff like that because her parents got murdered. And throughout the book, you kind of get the feeling that maybe Emily isn't the most reliable narrator. Maybe she's crazy. Maybe she's lying. You don't fucking know. But you do know is that she somehow views her parents' murder as her fault. And so you're trying to figure out like how active her role is in this, how much control she has over the situation, whether or not she's crazy and stuff like that. Spoiler, because this book was boring, she's not crazy. And also she's not necessarily even lying. Because what fucking happens is this book, which is like framed as being like a murder mystery, it never murder mysteries. It never gets to that point. Emily meets this other girl who is also named Emily. This book has way too many fucking Emilys in it. Also, this book is fucking obsessed with Emily Dickinson. When I was reading the book backwards, I read the author's note and she was like, it was kind of an afterthought. And I was like, you should have thought again. M, who is Emily number 2, is just like a weird artsy girl that she befriends. And they have kind of like a romance, honestly. Like, it's like, I'm choosing to interpret it as a romance. It is very like innocent. They're teenagers, right? So it could be read as platonic. I don't think there's not like a whole lot that is explicitly that they are in love. Although there are like things like about flowers a lot. And at the end, she gives her a ring. So I'm like, they're married now. Or is it a bracelet? I can't remember. She gives her some piece of jewelry. Fucking something. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She befriends M. And M kind of like is obsessed with her, Emily, the normal Emily, not Emily Dickinson. I say the normal Emily, the main Emily. She's obsessed with the main Emily, not Emily Dickinson. And she's like, because Emily has this thing where she's like a bitch to everyone. And in her like internal like dialogue, you get to like hear her being like, it's the rules. I can't be nice to anyone because then they'll die, right? And she keeps going on and on about the rules. She won't say what the rules are. You're supposed to wonder, you know. She basically is isolating herself because of the rules. She will be mean to anyone who tries to get near her. So she's like a really bitchy to M. And M likes it. So she's like, you're gonna bug you some more now. But nothing bad happens to Em. But basically, she's in this boarding school, she's isolating herself, trying to follow the rules, and somebody dies outside the boarding school. And she's like, shit, it's my fault. I didn't break the rules though. So why is this happening, right? And all this stress and stuff like that. You find out that the rules that Emily is playing by are set by a fourth Emily. There's Emily Dickinson's. There is Emily. And then there is Emily's older sister, who murdered their parents because it's stupid. It's so fucking stupid. So what happens is that Emily's mom had an illegitimate child when she was really young, who was named Emily, right? But they like sent her away. Like they put her up for adoption because it was like some like scandalous thing or whatever. I think she was like probably a teenager when she got pregnant with some random dude who even fucking knows, right? And Emily number 1, the older sister, gets sent away. But, mom keeps living her life, gets married, has another baby, names it Emily too. This is because mom still has a relationship with Emily 1, but she's still a secret because of, her past and all of that, right? And so to like make it so that Emily 1 never has to meet anyone, there's never any confusion or anything like that, they're both named Emily to like kind of hide the fact that she has 2 daughters. My daughter Emily, which one? Who fucking knows, But Emily 1 is crazy. And, and so she fucking kills her mom. And then she meets Emily 2 and like kind of convinces Emily 2 to go along with her plan or whatever. And like, I don't know. Her plan is basically just to keep Emily 2 as unhappy as possible because she feels like her life was stolen from her by Emily 2, even though she's like a literal child. And so Emily 2 is just like, okay. And then Emily 1 kills her dad. That's how they get where they are. And then because Emily 2 is isolated, playing by the rules, not letting anyone close, doing everything, Emily 1 just fucking gets bored. And so she just like decides to harass her more by like murdering some random person and dumping them at her school because there's no one close to her to kill. So she's basically just being like stalked and harassed by her older sister. The end. Then her older sister falls off a cliff and dies. That's pretty much it. This book was fucking stupid. Oh yeah, so for the readathon, I was gonna read the whole omnibus of like the second volume for Berserk, and then I was like rushing and stuff like that, and I was like, why am I crunching? Why am I stressing out over books? I read for fun. Why am I getting competitive with it? And I was like, you know what? I'm a third of the way through this omnibus, but I literally exactly have finished 1 volume. So I was like, I'm just gonna count the first volume. Not the first volume. It's the 4th volume that I read for the readathon. Because the prompt was just read like a manga or comic or graphic novel or something. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about Berserk other than like the art is insane. Actually insane. Because I have an interest in like producing my own manga. Although like unrealistic. I want to do so many things with my life. And that's so much labor. But like I have some of the skills. I've made some projects. I know how to do it. But like when I look at Berserk, I'm like, that is an insane amount of work. And like even in like the early volumes where I'm like, did he have like an assistant at this point or anything like that? Has he ever had an assistant? I don't know anything about him. But like it's crazy to me to see such small panels packed with so much detail. And it's all like armor and like horses and like groups of people and like battle scenes and stuff like that. Not just fight scenes, battle scenes with like several characters on horses with weapons in armor. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like I can't even imagine how long that would take to draw. And it's all like for 1 panel, right? And there's like a bunch of panels. And they all have that amount of detail. And they're all like, there is some use of tone in it, like green tone, but it's primarily hatching. And I'm like, that is insane. That is insane. Very inspiring though, like crazy inspiring. Do I have anything else to say about like the story for Berserk? Oh, I think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting. Anything that's like geared towards like male audience. I think it's a very interesting choice that Guts has sexual abuse trauma. No, I just thought that was really interesting because I feel like sexual abuse is like a character trauma that is like almost always given to like women. Or like if a male character has sexual abuse as like a trauma point, it's because they like experienced it like secondhand, not firsthand. Like their love interest gets raped or something like that, you know? Not them. So I think it was really interesting that that's like a pretty big part of like Guts' character. I'm not that far in, but I'm pretty sure that him not hating when other people touch him is a thing that like carries on throughout the series. I'm pretty sure that's like a pretty big part of his character. So I thought that was really interesting.
Isn't that exactly what happens though?
Happens to what? Oh, thanks for the spoiler, bitch ass. Get out of here.
That's way at the beginning.
I told you I'm on the 4th volume, not the 4th omnibus, not book 12, book 4. I am still like in the prequel. They just met the girl. She doesn't even like him yet. So, cool. Even if that does happen though, I feel like my point remains.
How fucking long is Berserk?
Well, I'm reading the manga. It's very long. Even the omnibus, I'm pretty sure there's like 12 volumes of it or something. I don't think it. Hold on. Berserk. How many volumes? 1, 2, 3, 5? Is there only 5 of them? No, 12. 11? Those are very different numbers. There's a lot. 13. There's 13 volumes in the deluxe edition, which each volume is 3 books. They're all like 1,000 pages. Oh yeah, and then I've just been reading Wheel of Time, which I will finish it before the end of the readathon. I still have like about 20% of it left, less than a quarter. I don't think by the time I finish it, I don't think I'll have much like else to say about Wheel of Time. I fucking love Loyal. Loyal is my precious son. I love him even more in this book than when he was first introduced because like obviously shit's starting to pick up, you know, like Rand's getting in trouble a lot more. And I fucking love Loyal being like the Rand, you shouldn't do that, Rand. Rand, we're in trouble. Rand, I'm scared. I fucking love Loyal. He's the best. He's the best. Giant ogre boy. I love him. My precious son. I would die for him. But we get to see Egwene and Nynaeve make it to the White Tower for their Aes Sedai training. And right when you're like, oh, fuck you. The girls are in girl land. They're about to do girl things, right? We're about to pass the Bechdel test. And then literally every woman Rand has ever spoken to, it just like appears in one place. And all they do is talk about Rand. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with it, honestly. I don't know what I expected to happen. They're so cool, though.
Can I tell you about a novel I read in school?
Was it Grapes of Wrath? Did it change you? Was it Great Expectations? I didn't read that book. I just read the Spark Notes. I'm done talking about books.
Thank you for watching our video. If you've made it this far, comment with yellow hearts and Oshi marks. Mode and I have been working really hard lately to try new things with our YouTube channel and Twitch stream, so if you've made it this far, your support means a lot to us. We stream 4 days a week on Twitch and post daily to YouTube, so subscribe and join our Discord community for more updates.